In 1775, the Continental Congress created the Chaplin Corps. Under the command of General George Washington, each soldier was required to attend worship service every Sunday. While other armies advanced on their feet, Washington's troops advanced on their knees. It's time for the Chaplain's Report with Caleb Colquitt on tactics.
I know we're running a little long here, but this is a really important Chaplain's Report for me, because I wanted to address something that happened earlier this week. Yesterday was the funeral of my good friend Susan Kelly. And I know that the vast majority of you have no idea who that is. She was the wife of one of the elders at the 10th Street Church of Christ up in Opelika, where I used to attend. And unfortunately, she finally lost her fight with cancer. She had had cancer for a lot longer than me. And when I first got it, being terrified as you can imagine I was, she was rock solid. And she was someone that encouraged me quite a bit. She checked up on me, made sure that I was feeling okay, even when she was going through cancer. And anybody would have understood her just worrying about her own little red wagon and being concerned for herself and not necessarily worrying about others. Even despite what she was going through, she made sure that she had time to talk to and comfort other people that were in a similar situation. She was a very selfless person, somebody that I admired and somebody that I want to emulate. And her passing is a sombering reminder that not all of us make it. I've been very blessed, very fortunate that I've been cancer-free since February. And I'm so glad that God has seen fit to preserve my life and keep me on this earth to continue to do His work. But Miss Susan, no longer being with us, does remind me that we don't all make it. And that's not easy to hear, but it really does make you appreciate the fact that, at least for me personally, that I was able to beat this disease. And I just wish that more people were able to do the same. And my heart really goes out to my brother in Christ, Brother Mark, who's an elder up there at 10th Street. This is actually the second wife that he's lost. And I cannot express my deepest sympathies any more fervently than I can now. And I'm reminded of a passage when I think about Miss Susan that has meant a great deal to me, and it comes from Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12. And this was really the lesson that I took away, one of the big lessons I took away from my time dealing with this disease. 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. For if either of them falls, the other will lift up his companion. But woe to the one who falls when there is not another to lift him up. Furthermore, if 2 lie down together, they keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? And if one can overpower him who is alone, 2 can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly torn apart. When I think about what Miss Susan did for me, that verse sticks out. Because what it says there in Ecclesiastes, being written, of course, by the wisest man who ever lived, is it recognizes a basic truth about how we are created. God made us to be community-oriented, social creatures. You'll notice that one of the first things that He notices about Adam when He creates him is He says it's not good for man to be alone. And it's not. We can't do it by ourselves. We do need the support of our brothers and sisters. We need the support of other people. And Susan Kelly is one of the many people that was that support for me. She made my time going through this disease a little more bearable and a little less terrifying and a little more comfortable. And I greatly regret that I wasn't able to do the same for her. I greatly regret that she isn't here on the other side of this battle the way that I am. And she actually did beat the disease at one point, but it came back on her. And unfortunately, she did not win round 2. But the fact that she was able to live as long as she was, I think, was a great blessing, and possibly part of the reason that God allowed and allows any of us to continue living and continue to go on is so that we can help one another, that we can help our brothers and sisters, that we can extend our hand and extend an olive branch to them. That is truly what I think our purpose here is. And it's a purpose that Miss Kelly fulfilled very well, especially in regards to me. It reminds me of a particular passage from a song, one of my favorite ones, Sing to Me of Heaven. And this is from verse 2, where it says, as I walk alone, dreaming of the comrades that so long have gone. One thing that I think is really significant about those words is that it says, as I walk alone. So in other words, it's painting the picture of somebody who is by themselves, but they've had people help them along the way before this point, and they've all gone on to be with the Father. And then when we are sung to of heaven, in other words, we're being told about heaven, we'll get to see those comrades one day. And I pray, and pray earnestly, that one day, when that great day comes, that I will be one of the lucky ones, and that I will be able to see my fallen comrades, like Miss Susan, and like so many others that have dealt with this disease and unfortunately fallen prey to it. But while we are here, we must always remember that our primary duty is to obey God, do His will, and the best way to do that is by giving aid and comfort to our brothers and sisters. Stay the course, friends.